All right, ladies and gentlemen. I got tagged in another one. The last one I did was called the Sirius 6, and that was the originator of that was Stephen Bodie Ford from Hiking Deep, and apparently he liked my answers from the last one, and he left a comment on one of my videos, and he said that he wanted me to do this tag because he'd be interested in hearing what I had to say about it. This tag is called the You and Yours. And it's kind of a continuation of the Sirius 6. I can't remember exactly who it was that was the originator of the tag. And if Stephen Bodie Ford leaves a comment down there in the comment section, maybe he can put that in his comment who said that. But anyway, moving on. Oh, we're going to do this, and we're going to try to ignore that a-hole bird. God, he makes so much noise. Anyway, moving on to the questions. Question number 1. Have you tried to get your friends, family, and neighbors on board with preparations concerning an SHTF situation / scenario? What was the response? Well, I don't really know my neighbors too well. When I first moved into this neighborhood, we knew pretty much every neighbor. As far as talking to them a lot, it was one of those things we talked to them in passing, if we saw them outside or whatever, when we were, outside too or whatever. But there was really no heavy conversation between any one of my neighbors and us. So, and that chicken-hating a-hole I have next door over there, I have no contact with him. He doesn't talk to me. I don't talk to him. And quite honestly, I wouldn't pee on him if he was on fire. But anyway, there's a few people in my wife's family that are preparing for various different scenarios, I suppose. And my family, they all moved out of state. So, and I'll be getting the hell out of California as soon as I can, too. So, but anyway, I have a lot of friends that are preparing, and I have a lot of friends that are preparedness-minded. So, there have been conversations, before about preparing and, what we're preparing for and things like that. And, as far as I'm concerned, like I said in the last video in the Sirius 6, for me, it would be natural disasters is what I'm preparing for. I mean, if you prepare for a natural disaster, you can pretty much prepare for everything. It's like preparing for the zombie apocalypse, which people that prepare for that watch too many movies. But anyway, that's beside the point. Question number 2. SHTF has occurred and your friends, family, and neighbors who didn't prepare want to suddenly join you. What do you do? What do you how do you determine who joins your group? If they are in need, especially family, I would probably do anything I could to help family. My friends, if I have friends that are in need, I would probably do what I could to help them out as well. I would probably tell them they need to grab everything they can as far as food and supplies and, head over, basically. But, I think in that type of situation, in an SHTF situation, I think the larger group you have, the better your chances. But at the same time, food and supplies dwindle quickly. So that's why I would tell them to pack as much as they could. Basically, load your trunk. Question number 3. If you do allow others to join and they don't pull their weight within the group, what do you do? A, allow them to stay and deal with it, put them out on their own, or other. Putting them out on their own could cause a lot of problems, because at that point, if they've already been in your group, they know what you have, where you have it, they know your weaknesses and security, they know who's in your group, and it's a whole lot of information to pass on to other people that may want to take what you have. I think that situation right there, you have to really be careful with. As far as letting them stay, if they're not pulling their weight, honestly, they either start pulling their weight or they get the hell out. One of the two. That's just the way it goes. But like I said, there's consequences for kicking people out. So you just have to keep that in mind. Question number 4. During SHTF, you start running out of food. What do you do? Well, like it says in my channel description, I'm just a regular guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to take care of the family. If I have to go scavenge, or if I have to, set up a scouting party to go find certain things, then that's what I'll do. As far as taking things from other people, that's asking for trouble. That's asking to get yourself shot, basically. And I don't think a can of beans is worth getting shot or stabbed over. But yeah, so that wouldn't be an option. That would be probably a last resort. But I would have no problem going through houses that are abandoned, for anything that I need. Question number 5. During SHTF, what is your greatest fear for you and your family? And the choices are gangs, marauders, or cannibals. Well, honestly, I hope that it wouldn't get to cannibalism. I mean, that's just, that's just a whole different video on its own. But, out of marauders and gangs, probably gangs. Dealing with a few people at a time, you could probably set something up, make a deal with them, or, make a trade or whatever. Gangs, they're not interested in making trades. They just want what you have, and they don't care about you or anyone but themselves. And living where I do, I live 70 miles from Los Angeles. Okay, I live 70 miles north of Los Angeles. And on a day-to-day basis, there's gang activity in my city. You don't see it outright all the time, but you see the remnants. There's little set tags and stuff like that. I saw one right outside my son's school today when I went to pick him up from school, from it was like some neighborhood from Watts. If it's that important for you to come to my city and tag up my city with your gang affiliation, take your ass back to Watts. Bring that trouble back down where it needs to be instead of up here. But yeah, I believe that gangs is probably the biggest threat out of the 3. Let's see. Question number 6. SHTF and societies without law. Do you join a gang or hide out and fend for yourself? Well, I'm certainly not going to join a gang. So I guess I'll just fend for myself and my family, and anybody that's in my group, basically. I'm not going to go out and join a gang, just because, some people might think that that's extra security for themselves, but to me, it's not worth giving up my life for the gang life. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, all right, guys. So as I was editing this video, I realized I kind of left something out. I think it's a pretty good point. Before you take somebody in off the street and add them to your group, whether it be family or your neighbors or whatever, make sure they know before they enter your house or your property what's expected of them. Lay the ground rules down to them. Tell them what's expected of them. Tell them that they're going to have to contribute something. They're going to have to pull their own weight. When I say contribute something, I mean cans out of their own pantry, or guns and ammunition, or bow and arrows, whatever they got. Okay, if they can contribute something to the group, that would be beneficial to them. Okay, but if they're not pulling their own weight, they're not doing what you expect them to do, you got to take measures in your own hands, and you got to make that decision. But just remember, it's going to have to be a decision you're going to have to live with. So, that being said, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to you in the next one. I hope this is what you wanted to hear, Stephen.